into a sick production in tandem with Yinzer Crazy. We're so happy to be back for another season of the Chris Wormley and Friends show. My name is Mike Nicastro. Find me on Twitter at MikedUpSports1. And we're getting by with a little help from our friends. As I mentioned, we've transitioned from the Chris Wormley show to the Chris Wormley and Friends show. The Steelers defense, I'm telling you, 5 turnovers, 1 touchdown, 1 block PAT, and we got one show to talk about it all. Sammy, go ahead and run it.
Finish it off. It was Wormley who got to him first. He's having a big day.
Chris, welcome back. How are you feeling? How does this feel? Got to address the elephant in the room. Jordan, he's out with a wisdom tooth issue. He was day-to-day, but he could not make it. But you are healthy, correct?
Yeah, came out of the game healthy. I know Jordan's on IR for the week, but that's okay. He'll be back next. Came out of the game healthy, even though we played, I think the total snaps for the defense was like 105, something, crazy. As crazy as the game was, we, for the most part, everyone came out healthy, which was the biggest part.
No question about it. We, of course, as I mentioned, are now the Chris Wormley and Friends show. So we're excited. We're going to be rotating in some of your buddies, some great Steelers teammates throughout the season. So I usually do a lot of the hosting duties, Worm. I'm assuming you picked up on some of my tips throughout the past year. I mean, They're not great. You're probably going to be the host after you do this, just moving forward. But I want you to intro our guest today.
Well, we got a good one today. I think this guy is in the lead for AFC Defensive Player of the Week. 3 sacks against the Bengals, a huge part of why we won. Sack, fumble. I think Cam Hayward would have said it was an interception, but we got my boy Alex Highsmith on the podcast today, and we're super excited. Number 56. Welcome, your boy.
My guys, thanks for having me on. Appreciate y'all.
Man, how was that intro? He didn't do so bad.
It was pretty dope. I think he did. He did. Thanks for saying it's a nice thing about him.
Yeah, was it as good as the WWE intros we went to a couple weeks ago?
Them things are pretty. those are awesome. I mean,
that was a fun time.
I look forward to going to another one of those.
Heck yeah.
I saw that, guys. I was waiting for one of you to jump up there with a chair and smack someone in the back, but I guess you couldn't risk getting injured there.
Wormley was yelling from the crowd. It was funny.
I was getting into it, man.
Those gifs were flying on Twitter, man. We saw you guys. That was awesome. Doing some Stone Cold Steve Austin with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Man, that's some cool stuff. Alex, thanks for joining us once more, man. Before we get into football, because I was joking around with Worm about this, I think even a month or two ago when JY were with him. You got married this summer, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Amazing stuff. I know you had a bunch of Pittsburgh Steelers out to that, obviously. It goes without saying. Talk to me about some of these guys' dance moves. Did Worm do the Worm?
Honestly, from what I saw, I think Worm did have some good dance moves, but I was honestly don't remember. Everything went by so freaking fast that day, and I'm sure Worm can attest to it. To his wedding as well, just how fast the night went by. It was crazy. It was awesome to see, guys like Worm and Henry Mundu there. So it was an awesome day, and so just a day I'll never forget. But I think Worm's got some solid dance moves.
Yeah, Alex was the hostess with the mostest. It was a beautiful wedding. I think it was on a golf course, country club in North Carolina. Beautiful setting on the water. So it was everything you could ask for in a wedding. His bride Alyssa looked beautiful that day, and it was just a great day with family, friends, and some teammates. So very, very honored to be a part of that day and got to witness something beautiful. It was great.
Good stuff, guys. Let's transition to on the field. We had a game, of course, this past Sunday, just a walk in the park for you guys. A 23-20 victory at Cincinnati. I think everybody's still catching their voice by now. Let's start with essentially a play that happened near the very end. Obviously, it happened at the end of the game. Worm, I know you're on the field for every extra point defensively. Talk
Yep.
to me about Minka Fitzpatrick blocking that extra point. What's the reaction? What's kind of the emotions going through your body during that whole occasion?
Yeah, I mean, the whole game was crazy. You know, we start off the game. Cam gets a sack. Minka gets a pick six. First two plays, we're up 7-0. Got to go back out onto the field. We get 5 turnovers for the whole game. We're +5 in the turnover margin, which is great. You think you're going to win the game, you know, by 2-3 scores with a turnover margin like that. But when it came down to it, they just scored the touchdown. Jamar Chase does Jamar Chase things. You know, he scored a touchdown, 0 seconds left on the clock. They have a great kicker in McPherson, who we thought was going to, you know, chip it in and they were going to win the game. But we never gave up. We never stopped fighting. We didn't blink in that moment. And Minka, being Minka, the all-pro that he is, made probably the biggest play of the game and kept us in the fight.
Smitty, at what point are you like, am I in a simulation right now with all these missed field goals going back and forth? What was your kind of reaction as this is all unfolding?
Probably the craziest game I've ever been a part of, and probably will ever be a part of. Just the fact that it just went back and forth like that was just like insane. Just back and forth, and you know, I still remember like just going out there at overtime. Like I think we like Worm said we had like 105 plays of defense. So especially overtime, I think we had like 2-2-minute drills at the end of the fourth quarter to try and stop them. And getting out there in overtime as well, I think we just had to really dig deep. And I think we did that as a defense. Like Art Millette made a great play in their last drive of overtime to really kick them out of field goal range. And so it was just a huge testament to just us as a defense and how we prepared. I think Coach Tomlin and the rest of the coaching staff did a great job of just preparing us with conditioning. You know, he always says physical conditioning precedes all else. And so I think that really showed Sunday.
Yeah, I tell you what, all those snaps, and Worm was still at the gym yesterday. Somebody shot me an Instagram photo of him, Cam, and Tyson, and I was like, man, I tell you what, these guys don't mess around. I absolutely love that. Alex, let's talk a little bit more about your game. Worm obviously gave you that incredible introduction there. 3 sacks. You're on pace for 51, I think. Can you get there?
That'd be nice. That'd be pretty nice. Awesome.
Heck yeah.
What worked for you, Alex? Why did you find that success? How good were you feeling kind of entering this week 1 game?
I was feeling good, you know, just coming off just a rib injury that I had during camp, and I'd been out for 4 weeks, and you know, I feel like my legs were really fresh coming into this game, and overall conditioning wise, I felt pretty good. Still getting back to things because, you know, not practicing and not playing these games, you know, you can't really get football shape until you play football. So this past week was a really big week for me. I feel like in practice and just developing a lot of confidence, just to be able to go out there and play 100%. Because a couple weeks ago, I was doing drills and stuff like that, and I was a little hesitant when it came to like doing like different moves and stuff like that. But when I went out there this past week, I was just, you know, felt like my confidence was there. So I just went it out and I just wanted to do the best I could to help the defense win. I wanted to attack from the jump, and that's something that I feel like I didn't really do just the best of job last year, just coming out early in the season and starting fast. And so I feel like it's a big confidence boost for me just to be able to come out fast like that. And I'm just, you know, glad that we were able to just get the victory yesterday as a team.
Was your dad there?
Yeah, him and my mom were there. Yeah, I got the game. It was pretty awesome. I actually gave him my cleats from
he's the best.
Last game, and I'm gonna write this every game, please. But I wrote Grandma Steen, my grandma Ernestine Highsmith. His mom, she passed away this past March. Just really kind of dedicating this season to her. And you know, every time I walk out there, you know, I just, you know, point to the sky, just, you know, to honor her, and you know, just to honor the Lord for just blessing me with her, and just blessing me to be able to play the game that I love, and just, you know, say, you know, Grandma Steen, help me in that moment, especially towards the end of the game when like, play 100, play 100, 102. Like I was like, oh, let's go, let's do it. But it was a pretty cool game, and I know it meant a lot to him for me to, you know, kind of have that game around.
No question, Grandma Steen was there. Something else that was there, Chris, the run defense. We're obviously always paying a lot of attention to you on the field. You're absolutely incredible there in the trenches, man. Last year, we talked about it a lot, kind of some of those struggles to stop the run. 2021, Joe Mixon averaged 6 yards per carry against you guys in 2 games. This opening game, 3 yards per carry. How much emphasis did you and I know your teammates put on stopping the run this offseason? How good was it to see it pay off?
Yeah, I think that was the biggest thing on our list this offseason. You know, we get to the pass, we rush the passer like no one else. We've led the league in sacks, I think, the last five years. So that is kind of commonplace for us. Obviously, we work really hard at that, and that's what we want to continue to lead the league in, is in sacks. But when you look at being 32nd in the league and in the rush, that's unacceptable for any defense, but let alone the Pittsburgh Steelers. So when we came into this offseason, we knew that was probably our number one priority, especially up front. A lot of that gets put onto us as far as stopping the run, clogging up those gaps. But I think, especially going to camp, the whole entire defense took it on themselves to be a little more attention to details in their run fits, whether they're a cornerback or they're Tyson, who's the nose. And when you got guys like Tyson coming back, I think that helped out tremendously. You add Larry into the mix, who's been a great player for 5 years now. You add him into the rotation of the D line with TJ and Alex on the outside. It makes it really hard for guys to run, and we worked our asses off the last really 4 months since we came back together in April to correct this, and it was a good start on Sunday.
Worm, I got to ask real quick. Were we lucky enough to just get our first mini cameo from Spade?
I was hoping you guys wouldn't hear that, but yeah, she's had a long day. She started preschool a couple weeks ago, and figuring out her nap schedule still is a little hard. So her upstairs hollering is hopefully few and far between this season.
Alex, we were blessed to have Worm last year, but the real star of the show was his daughter Spade. Come on, don't get us twisted here.
She's awesome. She's so funny every time I see her. No, we were hanging out last night, saw her last night, and she's awesome.
Yeah,
no question about it. Another guy who's a star, obviously, you mentioned his name, Worm, TJ Watt. Went down, of course, with that pec. I think everybody in Steelers stratosphere is aware by now what has gone on in terms of the reporting and, watching him leave the field in pain in that game. I'll start with you, Alex. How kind of, were the spirits in the locker room in terms of just being around TJ? Did he talk to you guys about it? Did he, did he disclose anything, or did you kind of just let it be?
When as soon as I got in the locker room, I wanted to go check on him and see how he was doing. He seemed like he was in good spirits. It's definitely disheartening, because he's a guy that loves the game of football, and whenever he's not out there, I know it hurts him. And so I just wanted to go in and check on him and just tell him that I was praying for him, and just let us know whenever he gets the diagnosis and everything. And so just like I said, he's a guy that loves football, and he's best rewarded what he does. And so it's just always sucks, when you lose a guy like that to injury.
I think at this point, Alex, we can safely make the assumption that he's going to be out for at least a few games, even though he is a superhero, and it sounds like he's going to make his return at some point. How do you elevate your game without him in the lineup?
I think just continue to just play fast, continue to do things I've been coached to do, and just continue to study film. And I think we got guys who are able to step up, and guys like Malik Reed and Jameer Jones, Delonte Scott. So I think we got a bunch of good guys who are willing to come in and just be able to produce. And so I'm just excited for the group that we have. And Coach T, Tomlin always says the standard is the standard, and I think we got guys that are going to be able to come in and hold up to that standard. So it's going to be a cool few games.
Worm, you want to jump in on that?
Yeah, I think I'm more obviously losing TJ. Like Alex said, he's the greatest pass rusher in the world at this point in time. He's the best at what he does. When you lose a guy like that for however long it's going to be, it's definitely a blow to your defense. But like myself last year when Tyson and Tua went down, I stepped up, I felt, and provided a lot of production for the team last year. So I'm excited for Malik, who's just got here a couple weeks ago, to step up. He's played a lot of ball. I know Jameer Jones is looking for an opportunity as well, and so is Delonte. Hopefully he gets the nod and gets to get brought up from the P squad and show what he can do. But it's going to take all of us. It's not just TJ who's going to win us the games, even though he is one of the best players in the world. It's going to take a collective, and I think everyone's going to have to step up their game a little bit until TJ gets back. But until then, we got TJ, and we're gonna be Steelers defense. And I think this past week has shown what we're capable of doing, and we're excited to continue to show that.
You're watching the Chris Wormley and Friends show, a sick podcast production in tandem with Yins Are Crazy. Make sure you follow us. Check out that bottom of the screen on Twitter and YouTube, and at Yins Are Crazy Show. Follow these two guys on Twitter as well. Won't be hard to find them. Chris, big season last year, 7.5 sacks. Alex is trying to top that in 2 games, man. You guys got to talk some mess there.
Yeah, I think Alex is maybe a little not salty, but I definitely think he wants to beat me in sacks this year. I know he's looking for those double digits, and he's off to a hell of a start this year with 3. On pace, like you said, for 51, and if he keeps it up, I think he's got it. So I'm excited for Alex to continue to take another step. This is year 3 for him, and you definitely can see the flashes of the first 2 seasons he played, and especially with TJ out, I know he's looking to step his game up even more and be that constant pass rusher for us that I know that he has, and we've seen all camp, and like I said, flashes the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, it was just a big game for me. I feel like confidence-wise, just starting last year, I didn't have a sack through the first 5 games. I was in a really rough state mentally. I can't really tell them about it, but I was just in a rough state because, just not being able to the first 5 games. Just really, it was hard on me mentally, breaking through, getting a couple sacks the next game. But I think it was just important for me. That was just my goal for the year. It was just to start fast. When I hurt my rib a few weeks ago, I was a little hurt. I wanted to go into the season, fully healthy, but I feel like God has a plan. It was really a blessing in disguise, because I had super fresh legs going into this game, and my legs still fresh. They're hurting right now from the game, but and so I think that was just big. It was a big confidence game for me. It's just something that I can build on.
All right, guys, we'll quickly touch on the next opponent. New England Patriots coming to town. The first game at Acrisure Stadium. You guys are an underdog right now, but this is going to be a hungry team, no question. They lost to the Dolphins last week. Chris, have you had a chance to think about this game yet?
Yeah, as soon as you play a game on Sunday, you're kind of, at least in your mind, thinking of who we got next, who are the players that we got to kind of dial in on early in the week. Mike T likes to call them the can't waits. What are the situations? What are the scenarios? Who are the players that we can't wait to look at and to diagnose and to scheme up, our defense for that week. But I think you have to start with their head coach and Bill Belichick. He's one of the greatest coaches, professionally, collegiately, wherever you want to say. He's probably one of the greatest coaches to ever coach the game. When you got a guy like him who's coming off a loss, he very rarely loses 2 games in a row, which I think they're going to come in, hungry, especially with the AFC East and the way that division is looking like it's shaping up with Miami and the Bills, and the Jets are looking like a team that can win some good games this year too. So they're looking to not go 2-0 or 0-2. And I think with the division like that, if you go 0-2, it puts you in a tough position for the rest of the season.
Yeah, you guys have the entire AFC East on the schedule this year. It's not going to be easy starting this one off with the Pats, Alex, right?
Yeah, no, they're definitely a good team, a well-balanced team on offense and defense. And just like Worm said, they're going to be hungry coming in, wanting a victory since they lost last week. But I think they got a lot of weapons on offense. Mac Jones is a dangerous guy. So we just got to do the same thing. We're going to talk about the game plan and stuff tomorrow, and really got to get after him and stop the run. And then, once you stop the run, get after him in the pass. And so it's going to be an exciting opportunity for us, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Well, I'll be waiting for that game, obviously, over here. I think something I've been waiting for a whole year, just about, maybe 6 months, is some Worm Association. Guys, hit me with that graphic. That's good stuff. I'll tell you what, Anello and Sammy over there kicking some butt over here for the fellas. All right, Alex, this is just an easy game. I throw out something, you give me some words, some thoughts on whatever I throw out there. Obviously, I'm going to have you jump in this because you're on the show, so excited about that. So, Chris, I am going to start over here with Black Air Forces.
It's a vibe, man. It's the energy that we came into the game with. I think Mike T was sending a message without actually saying anything, and that's kind of the energy we came into the game with, and that's kind of our energy for the whole season.
Alex?
Same thing. I just know whenever he got those for us, I knew that that was kind of the energy that we were coming with in the first game, and so I think it kind of paid off for us. It was a cool thing we did.
Good stuff. All right, the next one, and listen, it's not going to sound as cool coming from me. That's for sure.
Oh no!
You ready for it?
Let's hear it.
Take over your trap.
I knew that's what it was going to be.
You knew it was coming out, Smitty. You knew it was coming out.
It was coming out. You want to go first?
Yeah, that's a Chico Slime, Marcus Allen.
I knew it. I knew you were going to.
Somehow he got Coach Tomlin into it, and anytime we have an away game and we beat a team in their stadium, that song is one of the first songs after the game, and it's just kind of our mentality. We're going to try and take over your trap once we walk into it, and no matter where we're playing, who we're playing, that's our mentality, and we're looking to win.
Yeah, just like Worm said about the Black Air Forces, it's a vibe. Or kind of our theme whenever we went on the road, and I think it started a couple years ago when I think Worm we played one of the Ravens, I think.
Yep.
And it's just kind of been the thing from here on out. But it's like, look, that's what you look forward to, toward when the games went down the way and getting back in the locker room and busting the song. Coach T's always doing some funny dances. Chico's hitting his dance.
He had the AB little.
Yeah,
that was it.
That was crazy. It was good.
Year, gritty. Some guys still doing the gritty, but it's always a cool thing we do.
Listen, I'm just going to throw it out there. I can't believe Put That Stuff On has taken off the way it has. Good for AB, I guess, man. When I first heard that, I said, I don't know how much traction this is going to get, but I've been seeing way too much of this. I'll just say it myself. But it hits hard.
It does. It definitely does, and it's a simple dance, and you got little kids doing it. You got grown adults scoring touchdowns.
Mac
doing
Brown.
it.
You got Mac Brown in North Carolina doing it, close to
Mac Brown doing it.
Alex over there. Unbelievable. All right, this is the last one. The word I'm giving you is Tomlinisms. I'm not sure how often you guys listen to your coach in Tuesday press conferences. Today, he said about Jaylen Warren that he didn't urinate on his own leg. I'm not sure if you've heard that one yet, but just give me a breakdown of Tomlinisms, Warren.
I think he does a great way of making people pay attention to him. And when he uses those phrases, whether it's don't urinate on your own leg or, don't seek comfort, you could write a whole book on what he says and how he gets people to buy into what he's trying to get accomplished. And I think it's a great way for people to understand where he's coming from. And it allows people to know his mindset. And I think it's a great way to lead. And it allows people to buy into what he's trying to accomplish, and it's worked for him, and he's one of the best coaches in the league.
Yeah, just like Warren said, I feel like you could write a whole book on his time. He's got so many, like me and Warren, every time we see each other, I was like, all right. He probably said all right at least like 1,000 times every day.
Yep.
Like me and Marcel, our strength coach, we always he'll be stretching like before pregame, and like Coach Tomlin, like he'll always walk in like a couple hours before the game or whatever. We always like bet like what are you gonna say today? And it's usually always something like, all right, here we go, something like that. So yeah, just Tomlinisms are something special.
We love a good here we go around here. All right, we were rounding out with Chris Wormley and Alex Highsmith in the first episode of the Chris Wormley and Friends show this season. Before we get you out of here, Worm, I always got to throw in something for the Big Blue fans. Man, some craziness going on there. Cade McNamara, J.J. McCarthy. You guys starting hot, though, 2-0. Give me just a quick summation. What do you got?
Yeah, the boys look good. I mean, they played Colorado State and Hawaii the first two games, and they got UConn this week, so it'll probably be another blowout. I'm looking forward to the Big Ten play. It looks like it's going to come down to them and Ohio State at the end of the season as it has the last couple years. But I'm really looking forward to seeing this J.J. McCarthy kid slinging around for the next 10 games. I think he's going to be the starter going forward. which sucks because Cade led those guys to a Big Ten championship, led them to the Final Four, led them to the first playoff berth, first Big Ten title in, I think almost 20 years. So when you got a guy like that who's on the bench, it kind of I can feel his pain, but I also know that Michigan football is heading in the right direction with a guy like McCarthy who can run the ball, who can sling the ball, and has a lot of potential. And I'm just excited for the guys for the next 10 weeks.
Alex, a slow start for Charlotte, but it's a long season.
Yeah, long season. I think we're gonna turn it around. So I just know we gotta keep points off the board, and I think that's where games are gonna be won. Defense wins championships, and defense wins games, and so I think that's where it starts. But I know they'll bounce back because I remember it was my senior year. We were 2-5 start the year, and something changed after that game. We went 2-5. And we ended up, being 7-5 in the year and going to a bowl game. So things can definitely turn around. So I'm looking forward to, Coach Healy and all the staff getting them to do that.
Defense wins championships. You're looking at two members of the Steelers defense who played one of the best games, I think, overall defensively in Steelers history. Not kidding. This past Sunday. Chris Wormley, thanks for bringing on Alex Highsmith. Gentlemen, awesome stuff. Appreciate you. As always, stay healthy. Good luck against New England.
No doubt. Smitty, thank you for coming on, brother. I appreciate it a lot.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Warren. Appreciate y'all.
No doubt. Yeah. See you, brother.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Steelers Crazy on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.